Welcome back to the Isaac Abrams Show, everybody. I'm your host, Isaac Abrams. Today's very, very special guest, comedian, podcaster, and philanthropist, Mr. Steve FUREY.
What up, everybody? Good to be here, my man. Thanks for having me on, Isaac.
How are you today?
Oh, turned a little tight. I don't even know if that's a saying. Turned it tight last night?
It is now.
Should, yeah. You guys can use that. I can make some merch out of that.
That's right.
I turned it real tight last night. Started smashing just my normal amount of tequila.
Yeah.
You know, my normal amount of tequila.
What's the normal amount for you?
Well, I got a drink. If you ever go to the Comedy Store, you can ask a bartender for the Steve FUREY. Steve FUREY is half a cup of tequila, half a cup of soda water, and then 3 limes.
Wow.
So
what's that run you? Well, it's free for you.
Yeah, I get it free. For somebody else, I don't know. I couldn't even imagine what it would be.
$38.
Yeah, probably a hefty price there. So then I was smashing those. Not too many to drive. I was still able to drive. And then I got home and I switched to tequila to whiskey for some reason. And I haven't been this hungover since I was with Bert. I was with Bert Kreisher for a while, and
yeah.
That was gnarly, but this is by far the most hungover I've ever been.
Did you do Fully Loaded or just the Birdie Boy?
I did both.
Yeah.
I did Fully Loaded, I did Hot Summer Nights, and I did Birdie Boy Relapse.
Hot Summer Night. Oh, so that was Hot Summer Nights the first one? Right.
Hot Summer Nights was the one that he did. Oh, my God. He did during the pandemic. So we were doing drive-in movie theaters, and that was pretty fucking... That wasn't... I mean, that was the first time I ever got to work with someone like that, you know?
Yeah.
I've opened for a lot of people, Bobby Lee, and a lot of guys like that, Theo Vaughn, all that kind of stuff. But before they got, like, superstar, like you're selling out fucking driving movie theaters during the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I did that, and it was real fun because it was during the pandemic, so, like, when we got out of L.A. and on the tour bus, we just went as hard as possible, and then the shows were okay. Some of them, the more liberal cities were kind of terrible. Like we did in Philadelphia, all their sports stadiums are in one area.
Yeah, it's awesome, right?
Yeah, so we did that parking lot, which was completely sold out. So it was like 1,000 cars, maybe more, 1,500 cars, and then each car had like 4 or 5 people. So it was a lot of people. But when you did a more liberal city, there were a lot more COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
So no one could even leave their car.
Ooh.
So it was literally like doing jokes for like a Carvana lot.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of terrible. But the red states, they were kind of cool because they would just box off kind of like 2 parking spots, and then you could get out and kind of sit. Or what they did was they would allow trucks to be the front row, and then you could sit in the back of your truck.
That's awesome.
That was pretty fun. Yeah, it was a great experience that I'll never forget. I gotta say, being inside's 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
But it was still fucking sick.
And you guys were the only ones out there doing it at first, pioneers.
Yep, he was the pioneer. It was all him. He thought it up. He just thought, why don't I do this? And the funny thing is, like, one, it's hard to find drive-in movie theaters. There's not that many of them.
Yeah, and they're in weird places.
And they're in weird fucking places.
Yeah.
So, and the odd thing about it is there is a, they're kind of contracted out to EDM guys.
Weird.
Yeah. So the promoter we used was an EDM festival guy.
Okay.
Because he had all the plugs for all of them. So that was kind of cool, just dealing with those guys because they had a bunch of cool equipment and stuff. But it was very interesting. Like, you'd go to this like random North Carolina drive-in, there was just like whippets everywhere on the fucking ground.
Nice. That's where I'm from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember where we did, but we did a few.
I think you did Greensboro.
Yeah, probably Greensboro.
Yeah. Because the big cities would be Charlotte, Wilmington, and Raleigh. So.
Yeah. Well, where's that?
It's Greensboro, Greenville.
I think we did Greensboro, Raleigh, maybe. What's the real liberal place in North Carolina? I think it's
Raleigh's pretty
Asheville.
liberal. Asheville is very progressive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we did Asheville too.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there in October.
It's a pretty cool place.
Yeah,
I liked Asheville. I
nice
liked a lot of them.
Nice being from there.
Yeah, where are you from?
I was raised in Raleigh. I was born in New York, raised in Raleigh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How's that?
It was. It is what it is. It's.
Are you Jewish?
No.
Oh, okay. In fact, that's a Jewish name.
That's.
No, not the oyster. The Isaac Abrams seems like sounds like a biblical Jewish name.
My middle name, first name and middle name, it's Isaac Abraham. My last name is Heckert.
Oh, okay.
So it just
Isaac Abrams
flows better.
Yeah.
And when people are like, "Are you related to J.J. Abrams?" I want to be able to say yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's uncle.
You're from Sacramento.
Yeah, 916 coming with 9-inch ticks. We out here. I made that up. You guys.
I think you've said that a couple times. Right?
Yeah. If I ever.
The cadence felt like it rehearsed.
Oh yeah. I've said that. I remember when I first said it. Me and a comedian named Johnny Taylor from Sacramento. We were driving into San Francisco, and it was always kind of like Sacramento's a very little brother. In California, they're kind of like the littlest brother that they kind of just like kept in a cage in the roof.
Yeah.
Like in the ceiling that no one ever cares about. But then everyone's like, look at me.
Yeah.
So like when we go into San Francisco, we'd always be like, going to the big city, 916 coming in. And then I said 9-inch sticks. And it's really been great. I love saying it on a show if someone says they're from Sacramento.
Yeah.
Because then it just pops really well.
Is that a common thing for everybody in Sacramento, or is it just you and your clique?
No, I made it up.
Okay.
So I don't think anyone uses it but me, but I'm trying to catch it on. So if anyone out there wants to bring it back, feel free.
Well, this is the platform to launch
This is it.
a national catchphrase.
Yeah, we're bringing in Turn Too Tight
Yep.
and 916 coming with 9 sticks. It's a big day.
Yeah. How does your beverage consumption last night measure up to your birthday?
Oh yeah, my birthday was gnarly. Did you follow along with that, or you just looked it up?
No. I've been following you for a number of years. You're not just somebody that Monterey hooked me up with.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm a fan.
Oh, cool.
I think you're very funny. I've been following you for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I'm getting to a weird. It's this year is the first time I feel like I have had any fans that weren't people I knew. Probably because I'm going up at the store more in LA. But so
Hanging out with Bert can't hurt.
yeah, hanging out with Bert was. I mean, it's just such a good team too.
Yeah.
But and I'll get back to the drinking one. But with Bert, it's just like we both kind of like to go hard. I kind of feel like they chose me because I didn't know him at all.
Oh, really?
When I got picked up,
He just grabbed you off a clip or a recommendation?
Yeah, he grabbed me from Dave Williamson, who's like a.
Oh, he's on the list too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll describe him later. So Dave suggested me, and then I went, and it's kind of like I got it because I'm pretty funny and I can kind of like hang with anyone.
Yeah.
So the only problem is like when we're with Bert, it's like Oh, Jesus Christ, I almost threw up. I also had squirrel for lunch. Not like the animal, but like the...
Where I come from, I would not bat an eye. Like, where do they serve it out here, and where can I go get it after?
Yeah. I had squirrel. It's like this East Side hipster kind of restaurant. And it's really good, but it was just too fucking...
The name of the restaurant is Squirrel, not the...
Yeah, not the food.
Okay. I got excited for a second.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. Not much meat on a squirrel, I feel like. But...
You need a couple.
So yeah, probably a stew. You can probably eat a squirrel pretty well with a stew. So yeah, but the only thing, man, when I was with Bert, we would just drink so much. I on average, I gained 6 pounds a week.
A week. Now we have to talk about Dave.
Yeah, well, we'll go to Dave. We'll go to that one later,
Okay.
and I'll go back to the beer thing. But okay, we'll just do that. We'll do the pound stuff later. So, well, now my birthday every year, I do this thing where. If someone wants to buy me it all started during the pandemic because I couldn't go out for my birthday, and I was like, hey, if you guys want to buy me a drink, I'll toast you and say something about you. So it was pretty cool in the first year. I did like 20 maybe.
Over the course of like 14, 16 hours.
Yes, so that's the thing. 20 beers over. I start right when I wake up, and I'll go till I pass out. So that one was good, but then like my followers jumped up. So like,
because of the activity?
No, it's just like, just working more and
Right.
work Bert. So then this year I did like, I think it was like close to 40 beers in a day.
Is it all beer, or is somebody like, I need you to take a shot?
I can't do the shot because
No.
I can't have like
You wouldn't
10
survive.
shots. Yeah, I'll just die.
Yeah.
So I'll do, and 40 does sound like a lot, but
2 beers an hour for 12 hours is 24. So
Yeah.
you're not far off.
Yeah,
You did
exactly.
like 16 hours.
yeah,
3
it's like
beers an
3
hour.
beers for
Yeah.
every probably 16 hours.
Are you putting any water down?
Yeah, they're Bud Lights, so they're kind of like,
So yes.
yeah, it's just water.
Yeah.
That's it. And then, it's also my birthday, so maybe some extracurricular stuff's coming in there to help me keep up.
Yeah.
And so I would say I was more hungover today than I was on that one.
Is that because it was the hard stuff? You were drinking the Steve?
The hard drinks, I feel like hard alcohol is the one that you can make mistakes on. I feel like
Yes.
beer,
Yes. Beer.
like you're going to throw up before you do anything really bad.
Yeah. if you get real sloppy on beer, you have many opportunities to go home before that. Mm-hmm. My problem is I live next to a bar down in Playa del Rey.
Oh, nice.
And I'll go in there and it's like last call, right? Or like an hour before it. So it's like, we got to speed this shit up.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a lot of time.
That's a hard alcohol time.
Yeah. That's beer and a shot, beer and a shot. Yeah. And I wake up the next day like someone hit me with a dump truck. Yeah. But if I just stick to beer, in fact, I doing this new thing where I'll order a glass of water and a White Claw, drink the water, pour the White Claw over the ice. You cannot catch a buzz that way.
Yeah, that's very true. That's also, it's like, if I drink beer, I just won't get drunk, most likely. Because I just drink so much.
Yeah. You find a nice even buzz and you can just maintain it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love 4 beers.
Yeah.
Is kind of my love. If there was like, like they do the 12-hour energy.
Yeah.
But it was like just a 4 beer shot. Mm-hmm. I would be that. 4 beer Steve is the best Steve.
Yeah. I like a 2 beer buzz when I haven't eaten all day at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And then eating right after that.
Eating with alcohol is so fun.
Oh God. Speaking of eating. Oh, let's go back to the drinking thing for a second. Because I would love to know, and I don't by any means not going to make this all about Bert. But what is it? Have you been able to hang with him? Is there one night that you were like, I went drink for drink?
So a lot of, with Bert too, a lot of people just think he's like this bumbling alcoholic, like he's just smashing beers all the time. I'll tell you 2 stories. One, the drunkest I ever got with him. And then, so Bert doesn't start drinking until halfway through the second show.
Right.
But the thing is, we stay up
till
like 6.
Yeah.
So, and there's no like there's no drugs or anything on that bus. It's just alcohol. Mm-hmm. So it's just like we're just drinking till 6. I can drink with Bert pretty easily. There was a time in the middle of the tour where I was drinking probably close to a bottle of Casamigos a night.
Wow.
Yeah. But he starts at like 10:30. I'll start at like 7. So if I go 7 to whatever, it's still a lot of alcohol, but I could drink with Bert, but he just likes fucking vodka. I just can't drink vodka, but he's now on tequila.
Yeah. There's 2 bears coming. 2 bears, Dos Hombros is coming soon.
Really?
They talked about it on the show on Monday. They're like, let's just start a tequila company. I think we just did.
I think Dos Hombres though is
no. I got
Aaron
the word.
Paul and
it is
the other guy.
They said the name for bears.
Yeah,
and I don't know what that is.
Osos, something like that. Osos, yeah.
So Dos Osos coming
That's pretty
soon.
good.
Yeah. So the next time you show up on the bus, you'll probably have some white label tequila going there.
You know what's so funny is that his people reached out to Tito's. Mm-hmm. To see if they want. If you don't know Bert, he's been plugging Tito's vodka for probably 15 years.
Uncontrollably, like once a week.
Yeah, it's all he drank too. Like the first time I go on the bus, I'm trying to stick around. Mm-hmm. This is on the Jesus Christ, the Hot Summer's Night tour. Mm-hmm. So I go out and try to buy the best vodka I can find. Which really, vodka's not very expensive. Like, it's not. Like you get $100 bottle of this Russian stuff. It was kind of like the best I could find.
Yeah, that's like the Ferrari.
Yeah. Tequila goes up there.
You could spend your life savings on tequila if you want to.
Vodka's wasn't, and I tried. I looked very hard. I went to like 2 different Bevmos, another in a liquor store. I bought the best one. I go on there and he goes, "Oh, thanks." Never drank it. He just wants Tito.
Yeah.
So his people reached out to Tito's to get them to sponsor him. And they said no because you're already giving us so much free promo.
Yeah.
Well, why would you just fucking... Why? What are you thinking?
That would switch my brand like that.
Yeah, it pissed me. I would have pissed me off, but he was fine with it. But it's like, what are they thinking? This man is huge, and he already pushes your shit. Just give him free Tito's.
He orders it like Tito's is the other word for vodka.
Yep. It's only Tito's. He's always Tito's soda, no lime. Just a Tito soda.
It's crazy how much cheaper Tito's is at Ralph's than it is at the liquor store.
Really?
The handle at the liquor store is like $49, and then at Ralph's it's $27 with the Ralph's card.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. Tito's is pretty cheap too.
Yeah, when it first came out, it was like $8 for a 750.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like nothing from Texas, and then of course everybody picked it up, and they were like, "Well, this is fancy," and they were like, "Well, let's raise the price."
Yeah. Well, it's an American thing. I always like to buy American anyway, but
yeah. So 6 pounds a week. Was it from the beers?
So the 6 pounds a week. So the first time we all kind of went off the rails, because it was during the pandemic. You couldn't go out. You couldn't hang out with anybody. We weren't allowed to go out, so we were just on the bus. So the meals really the weight really comes from IPAs. We were drinking a lot of IPAs.
Yeah.
And those are about 300 calories a piece. A lot of people don't know that. Those are powerful. So
there's estrogen in them.
Really?
That's where I got these sweet 8 cups from.
I could see that. So we're pounding that, and then he eats all the meals in a day. You know what I mean? Like, do you eat 3 meals a day?
No.
I eat like 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Maybe
a snack.
Yeah, maybe a snack in there. I'm more a 1 to 2 guy. So he goes 3 a day.
Full breakfast, full lunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, like, when we go out to eat, it's always really cool going out to eat with bigger comedians, because it's a thing with comedians is they it's kind of unspoken rule. You got to hook up your openers. You pay for all their stuff. Okay. So like when I would go on with Bobby Lee, he would order every appetizer, even if it was just he and I, every appetizer, and then we'd get our food. So the whole thing would just be full of food.
Full mukbang. Just
mukbang, exactly. Yeah. Bert gets 3 meals for every meal, but he doesn't eat them all.
Just wants a little taste.
Yeah, he gets like a taste of a steak, a salad, this kind of thing. And then we bring it home, back to the bus, and then at night, they're called sneeze-snies, we then snack on all the... There's a lot of lingo we all got.
Yeah.
That means, let's see, we want a drink?
Yeah.
Goes,
we used to go...
Yeah, that's
if, if you're already at the fridge and I want a beer too...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just like the sound like that. So the sneeze-snies, so then at the end of the night... We'll then mix all the food together in like a burrito and we'll eat it. So we get all the meals, and then we got a guy named, I'm guessing we're talking about Dave Williamson, right?
Yeah, that's a perfect time. Dave Williamson.
So Dave Williamson is a literal pit master. The man is the best barbecuer I've ever come across. And we've gone to, when you're with Bert, people who like barbecue like Bert Kreisher. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's like there's a cross of like guys who love Philly cheesesteaks and just those type of guys.
Bert's an everyman.
Yes.
And every man likes Bert.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and whenever we go to a town, the best barbecuers will come out and give us food. And when we went to Philly, we had literally cheesesteaks from every single big place. There's like 6. Mm-hmm. So we were like just fucking tapas cheesesteaks all day. So then Williamson's, he'll smoke a meat all day. And it's like beef ribs, like $200 beef ribs, huge brisket, and we eat the barbecue in between meals.
Snacks.
Yeah. We're sneeze-snying fucking brisket that's been going on for 12 hours. Then we're drinking bottles of beer, and that's where all the weight really starts. Oh man, we would go to we one time in the South, we went to three days in a row. We went to McDonald's, went to White Castle, went to one other place. And on the 3rd day, we decided to mix all the different stuff to see what kind of best burger you could have,
Yeah.
It was like a White Castle bun with like a McDonald's thing and something. So we did that in the middle of the night, and that's how we just gained so much weight. Plus, we don't really go out and do stuff because also just Bert has gotten so famous in the last 3 years that I've known.
Yeah.
Now it's like getting close to the Beatles kind of shit with 2 Bears, 1 Cave popping off.
It's nuts.
It's like, he's just like, so now we can't go out anymore. We'll still go out to a bar once in a while, but it's just mayhem.
It's tough. You don't know this about me, but I'm the tour videographer for and
oh, nice.
So I'll probably ask you I'll cut this part out, but I'll probably ask you bus specific shit in a little bit.
Yeah, you can ask me.
But going out with the same way.
Yeah.
It's like we'll go and eat, and somebody will know, and the whispers happen, and then all of a sudden it's one after another. Can I get a pic? It's it's a little weird when they're not a fan, but they know they're famous, so you just try and get a picture.
The worst is honestly when they come up during a meal. You know, we're at like a night because Bert also, these guys, they go to like the best restaurants in the city, so we're eating like a steak dinner, and people are coming up, and it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? The man's eating.
You would think at a nice restaurant, the people would have
class.
just a little bit. Like, wait till he's outside.
Yeah, wait till we go. Wait outside. Yeah. And Bert loves doing it, and he never says no to anyone. But it gets a little wild. But he loves it. I would lose my mind.
I would too. I don't think I could shake that many hands.
No, and hug him, and people will fucking go up to this man at a restaurant and ask him to take off his shirt.
That's just rude.
It's so unbelievably rude.
Yeah.
And people just do it, and he's just the nicest guy ever. So he's like, all right, I'll take off my shirt.
Yeah. Do you ever feel embarrassed on their behalf because they don't know that they should be embarrassed?
Yeah. Well, I always feel embarrassed for people. It's almost like a problem. I can't even watch a lot of television shows because I just get too embarrassed for everybody on it. Like 90 Day Fiance, my girlfriend loves it. And I have to plug my ears and do like the la 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 thing with like when a person is just ruining their life on television.
Yes.
For nothing. And it's like they maybe get 20 grand. Maybe.
Oh, that seems high.
Yeah, I think less. 15?
10?
10?
10.
They're getting 10 grand.
It's 2 or 3 days of their life to film that, right?
Oh, 90 Day Fiance. It's 90.
Oh, they shoot the whole 90 days?
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems like they would fake it. Shoot it for a week, maybe.
Well, I mean, no, they go through like all this stuff, but it's just like, and like if it doesn't work, you just made an idiot of yourself. Forever. On the internet. And anyone who's going to date you is going to look up this show and see how fucking terrible you are. And you did it for nothing.
Yeah.
Ugh, I get panic attacks.
Yeah. I mean, some of them have been able to parlay that into brand deals and social media followings, and God bless them. But not everybody is a winner.
Yeah, and it's also like, they just, and then like, what your brand deals so you could just be an idiot and then you have to just do this idiot thing. It's very interesting. It's like almost like everything's becoming TikTok, where it's like you find one thing and you just have to keep doing that to keep your audience.
Yeah, you're known for eating shoelaces, and you got to eat shoelaces every day,
dude.
Yeah.
I got this fighting show on Instagram called Punching Up, where we watch street fights
with Saul Trujillo.
Saul Trujillo, and we have like 500 episodes. It's been going on for a long time. But like we're like, let's just try to do some animals fighting. And everyone's like, no, we want to see people beat the living shit out of each other.
Humans only.
Yeah, it's humans only. And we had some good animal fighting ones, but they just didn't respect it. It's like, all right.
You get some kangaroos in there?
We had this really great, for a week, there was like a monkey. We had like 2 videos of monkeys versus dogs. Not mean, like no one's ripping anybody up, but like monkey will come by and smack it on the head, then the dog tries to like nip its butt, and it was funny, but just nothing.
Yeah. There's that one clip last year that went viral, the Australian dude that was boxing that jacked.
Oh yeah, the kangaroo one?
Yeah. I thought for sure that kangaroo was going to whoop his ass.
I bet it could have. They got claws. I would never fucking fight a kangaroo.
Yeah. Everything in Australia can kill you.
And everything in Australia is claws.
Yeah. Even the spiders have claws.
Spider
people.
Claws.
White claws.
White claws have claws.
Yes.
Australia just seems like you're messing with it. You know, it's like you don't need to be living there.
No, it's a prison island.
Yeah, it's a prison island. Yeah. They're fun though. Australians are always fun.
They're great, and they love American people. So
they're a good time.
They are.
And they're fun in LA because their clock is different.
Yeah.
So they'll be up all night. So back in the day when I was like doing store spots, when I'd go up at like 1 a.m., it would just be Australians in the room.
Yeah, because their holiday, which is everybody else's word for vacation except America, is 6 weeks.
They get 6 weeks a year?
They just, Wow. But they take it all at once. And they're like, oh, we're just going to be in the U.S. for 3 weeks, and then we're going to jet over to the U.K. And like,
that's fucking tight.
Yeah, dude. They get the time off, bro.
We get nothing over here.
No, especially if you work for yourself.
Yeah.
No days off, right?
I haven't had a vacation since I started stand-up. More than a night. Like, I'll go to Joshua Tree sometimes, but like a week off.
Dude, you got to do JFL Mexico.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I got to do JFL Montreal first.
Well, you're paid regular at the store, right?
Yes.
So you should be able to, I mean, from the outside looking in, it seems like, I'll just make 2 phone calls and go do JFL.
I've done it. I've auditioned for 5 years. And I've crushed every time. The craziest one was last year. So do you know about, do you know Jeff Singers? These people probably don't know Jeff Singers.
This is a pretty big comedy podcast. It's not a big audience, but it's very comedy and photography specific. Yeah.
So Just for Laughs, they had a guy who was, if you know what Just for Laughs is, it's kind of like getting your doctorate in comedy. You don't need to do it, but most people that have become famous have done it.
Yeah.
They choose about 12 people a year, I think.
Is that just for fresh faces?
Just for fresh faces I'm talking about now. So that's what you'd kind of want. You don't need it, but it's harder to become a paid rec at the store than get that is. But nonetheless.
It's like getting TSA pre-check. You
can
fly.
It's nice.
But the line's a lot shorter.
Yeah, exactly. When people just see that you have it on your resume, it opens a little more doors. So they had a guy who would book the fresh faces. So he goes around the country all year, every year, and he watches most of the comedians that are doing anything.
Yeah.
His name was Jeff Singer. He would wear fedoras all the time. He just wore fedoras. Kind of a salty guy. He watches comedy every day. He was pretty...
Yeah. Is he drunk on his own power? Is that where he gets his salt from?
People say he was. There's some bad stories about the guy. I never minded him. So, not this year's. Last year's was the first one back after the pandemic. And so I'm doing it. It's at the Dynasty Typewriter in LA, downtown. And he comes in the green room and just starts talking to everybody. It's very weird. He's being very nice. He normally wouldn't even look you in the eyes. He's like, hey, guys, good to be back. I think he was just jonesing to watch comedy again. He says hi to everybody. He goes out there. I go up and I have just murder. I fucking murder. It was one of the best sets I've ever had. I go outside after the show. I'm talking to a bunch of agents and managers. I already got my people, but they're just talking to me because I know who I am. And some of our friends, and they're talking. And then out of nowhere, he comes up to me, beelines to me, goes, hey, man, that was one of the greatest sets I've ever seen. You're a future star. I loved it. It was fantastic. And I'm staring at him in the face, and he goes, why aren't you saying anything? And I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for 4 years, and you've never said a word to me. And he goes, all right. He goes, come over here. I want to give you some more compliments. Then he brings me around the corner, and we talk for probably 15, 20 minutes.
Wow.
And the guy is like verbally sucking me off. Like it's the nicest shit everyone's ever said, and it's what you want. It's a tastemaker. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that matters. And I'm like, holy shit. He's like, dude, I'm going to plug you. This is awesome. Because I kind of fixed my set to what they would have want. They want you to say who you are, where you're from, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I go home. I'm jonesing. 2 days later, the guy goes to the Comedy Cellar. He's talking to a bunch of black comics. And he starts going, why can you guys say, her?
Oh, boy.
But I can't say it. Now, keep in mind, he's Canadian from Montreal.
Yeah.
And they're blown away. And then he just keeps saying the N-word. Said it like 7 or 8 times.
Out loud. To black people.
To black comics.
Wow.
In the cellar. And like, everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? He just keeps saying, he got fired the next day. So I didn't get it that year. This year, I did pretty good again. They just didn't choose me.
Do you think year over year the difference is you're kind of on your way and you might not need to be a fresh face anymore?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like I'm going to be 34. That's not really a fresh face anymore,
No.
But I mean, I'm fine with it. But I just kind of just want it to be done so you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's like doing your taxes or something.
Yeah, which I haven't done in 2 years.
Nice. Yeah, Shakira is going to go to jail for 8 years.
For taxes?
Yeah, she owes $30 million to like Spain.
She must not have it. Because if you have it, you just pay it off.
I would have just paid it off.
Sounds like a benefit concert's coming up.
Man. That's
$30 million.
Yeah, she's going for 8 years. They want to get her in jail for.
They ain't going. She can't.
She's going to get out of it. Yeah, there's no way.
You can't look like that and sit in jail for 8 years.
Yeah, if I was just some rich dude, I'd be like, I'll give you $30 million if you'll be my wife.
In a country where there's no extradition.
Yeah, there's going to come to South America.
Yeah. Awesome. You were a door guy for a little bit?
Yeah, I was 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
At the Comedy Store.
Did that start the process of getting past? Because there's it's not what people think it is. It's a program, right? It's not just like, I'll do comedy here until someone puts my name on the wall. It's like you have to do these steps.
Yeah, well, it kind of works both ways. So, like, the people I got passed with was me, Roy Woods Jr., and someone else super famous. So, obviously, the famous guys don't have to be a door guy.
Right.
But if you're a no-name, then it's going to be very hard to get past without being a door, especially if you're a white guy. So I got hired with the old booker, Adam Egget. He's was kind of one of the guys who helped turn around the place, brought Joe Rogan back.
Yep.
Did all this kind of stuff. He had a good eye.
He's opening Joe's Club in Austin.
Yes, whenever it opens.
Yeah, December.
Hopefully. Yeah, I know. Hopefully it opens. I don't know. They probably will. All the people. But actually, real quick on that one, when Joe went down there, he brought a bunch of Comedy Store people.
Yep.
Brought Curtis Nelson. He brought Carrie, the bartender, and he brought 2 waitresses. And then he's been paying them a salary since the beginning of the pandemic.
Wow.
So, pretty cool fucking guy.
Yeah, very generous.
So then I became a door guy. I was there for 2.5 years. I was a lot guy. It's kind of a different thing. And it was great.
The lot guys get more FaceTime with the comics.
Yes. Lot guy is what you want to. You don't make as much money because you only make tips in the lot by guys who tip you out. But you get FaceTime with everybody. You get to talk to people. They're more likely going to know who you are rather than you just sit in a dark room and tell people to turn off their phones.
They're not going in the front door.
Yeah. So they're not going to see you, and they're not really checking in with you because you're in the corners of the room.
Yeah.
Lot guy is a lot cooler because you get to kind of do your own thing. And I would start getting fucked up at like 11:30 at night when people started leaving. I'll start drinking and stuff in the lot. And I remember one time, who was it? It was either Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle came in, and I had to park this Ferrari that's on paddle shifters, blacked out. I'm just like trying to, and I don't know, paddle shifters they're not that hard, but like.
Your first time with paddle shifters when you're blackout?
Yeah, at a Ferrari, Dave Chappelle's Ferrari. I was like, fuck. So that was like one of the times it went bad. But it was, being a lot guy was pretty fun. It was a great experience to have. It was it's kind of a cool thing to do, to have on your resume. Kind of a lot of great guys work, door guys, Jim Carrey.
It's a legendary list.
Yeah.
What did you do before you worked at the store while you're coming up?
Dude, I worked in I came to LA. I was dating a girl. I didn't know anybody.
This is 2014, 15?
I moved to LA 6 years ago. So this was about a year before then. So then maybe 17, 16, maybe 16. So I was dating a girl. I didn't know everyone hated her. I had no idea. She would come up to Sacramento. She's a comedian. I come down to LA, and she goes, I'll get you at the Comedy Store. I'll get you up. Because she was a friends and family, so they're not a paid regular, but you get belly room spots once in a while. So I go there, and it's the first time I've ever been to the Comedy Store. And it's a very, it's intimidating, as it should be. It's fucking Harvard. You should be intimidated when you walk in there. It's also very confusing. If you've never been there, there's a lot of...
It's a labyrinth.
Yeah, the labyrinth. It's a lot of nooks and crannies. So I go in there, I step onto it. I'm just blown away, right? Because this is the Mecca. It's where I've always wanted to go. When I read books, I'm dying up here. Maron's podcast back in the day, he would talk about it. Joe's podcast back in the day. So I get there, and then she comes up to me. She goes, "Okay, you're gonna get up on the OR,
okay,
and then you're gonna get up the original room." And she says, "And I got you up on Kill Tony."
Wow. Okay. Did you know what it was at the time?
I had no idea what Kill Tony was. Okay. This was when it was in the belly room.
Did she tell you what it was?
She goes,
like, if you don't know and you've been doing comedy for a while, and all of a sudden, like, all right, you got 1 minute. Like,
yeah, you got 1 minute, and you're up in front of Tony Hinchcliffe, Brian Redband, and normally 2 comedy stars.
Right. Like big stars.
Big stars.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was. So I'm about to go up. I do my main room, my OR spot, but I think I was first. So the room sparsely attended. No one was there. It didn't really matter. I did fine. My leg was shaking. And then I wander up to the belly room, and right when I step my foot into the belly room, they pull a name out. It's my name.
Oh, this is back before it was in the main room.
Yeah, this was in the belly room. This is like when it first started.
Wow.
So I go, oh, okay. And I go up there, and I stand up there. And to my left, the people judging that night, Jesus Christ, were Dom Irrera and Greg Fitzsimmons.
Okay.
So pretty big comics.
Yeah.
Dom Irrera is a legend. Greg Fitzsimmons is probably a legend too. And then Tony Hinchcliffe. And I go up there, and the room is full of open micers.
Mm-hmm.
Chock full. Maybe 100 people in a room that seats about 60. And I'm standing up there, and everyone's looking at me, and I'm like, do I just go? And they go, and they're all laughing at me. They go, yeah, you go. And I do a minute, and if you can find this episode, you will hear it. I fucking murdered so fucking hard in a minute. I mean, murdered.
Which, for people at home that haven't seen Kill Tony, is rare.
Yeah, it's hard.
The show's popular based on how bad new
people
comics
do.
bomb.
And then they roast the shit out of these guys.
Which is the funny part.
Which is the funny part. Yeah. And I murder. And for a minute, which was very hard to do. I think I did maybe 2.5, 3 jokes. Luckily, my kind of comedy is very short jokes. Get it? Everyone says, good job. They go, Brian and Tony. Everyone's like, hey, you should move to L.A. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I get off, and everyone's shaking my hand. It feels good. And as I'm walking downstairs, I'm with the girl that I was dating at the time that helped me get on there. Adam Ega walks by. And the girl goes, let me introduce you to Adam. This is the nicest thing she ever did to me.
Yeah.
For me. She introduced me to Adam. Somehow he was in the Kill Tony room and saw me murder.
Okay.
And he goes,
missed you in the OR, but
missed me in the OR. Yeah. Saw me. He goes, oh, you're the guy who crushed and killed Tony, right? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, cool. Do you live here? At that time I'm in Sacramento, and I go, yeah. And he goes, okay. Come back next week. I'll get you up in the OR and I'll watch your spot.
And you knew who you were talking to.
I knew who I was talking to.
Okay.
I knew I was talking.
Because if you didn't, you're like, fuck it, I live in Sacramento.
Yeah, exactly.
Career done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I lied.
What a pivotal moment.
Then I come back. Then I go home, drive home. It's 400 miles.
That night,
drive home. Come back the next week. I get up. Adam goes, man, he goes, I get up again. I get off stage. It's kind of the Carson thing, where, when you do Carson, if he doesn't say anything to you, you didn't do that good. If he goes the okay, you did great. If he tells you to come over, you're famous.
Yeah.
I'm getting off the stage, did great. He tells come over. He goes, hey, come here every 2 weeks. I'll start getting you up. I go, oh shit, okay. Then also, I did so good on Kill Tony. Brian Redband used to have a podcast at the Ice House.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck it was called. But so the week before, he sees me, he goes, hey, why don't you come back next week, do my Ice House podcast. You can do the show and do the podcast. I think it was on a Tuesday. So I come back, I do that OR set, goes well. The next day, I do his podcast. When I'm on the podcast, there's a guy named Jesus Trejo, who is now currently one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Well, work best friend. We're not calling each other Tim, but every time we see each other, it's great. And he and I hit it off on this podcast. And then he goes, why don't you come back next Monday and I'll get you up at the Comedy Store.
So you're driving 500 miles a day.
Again, I leave, come back. Now this is 4 weeks. I get up 3 times in the OR.
That's insane.
Unheard of. You normally get up once a year.
Yeah, that you're getting up in the OR and murdering on Kill Tony.
And I got up 3 times in 4 weeks.
There's a reason why your name's on the wall.
Yeah, well, it just worked out, And then I got up again. And then I started becoming friends with this door guy named Hormos. He's now one of my best friends as well. And then one door guy's quitting. And then Hormos goes, hey, you should hire this guy. And then Adam goes, would you want to be a door guy here? And I go, yeah.
In your head, you're like, if I'm going to fucking move down here,
yeah, I'll move. Yeah. I'll do whatever you want. And he goes, okay, we'll get you in the door guy. And it still took about 6 months for me to become a door guy.
Yeah.
But then I moved down to L.A. and then I got a job at a fucking group home for 6 months. It was gnarly. I would have to wake up at 6 a.m. I would go to the Comedy Store every night till like 2. Show your face. You kind of just have to do that just to show up. I don't know why. You just have to do it to show your face. And then I would get up at 6 a.m. to go to this group home in Bellflower and just fight 16-year-olds. But I couldn't hit them. I only had to like...
just defend yourself?
Yeah, these kids were so fucked up. They were just fucked up. So then I did that for a while, and then I got hired as a store guy, and everything else kind of helping from there.
That's an insane amount of right place, right time.
Yep.
But you had to be prepared.
Yes, exactly.
Like similar opportunities have probably hit some unprepared people that we've never heard of and will never hear
100%, man. It's, that's why I would never suggest starting comedy in this city, because there are always important people in the audience. And the thing is, the first time you meet someone or the first time you see someone, that's what you're going to have in your head forever.
Yeah. You are what people meet you as.
Exactly. And so if they see you for the first time and you're only 2 years in,
yeah,
you're just going to be bad until they see you in another 2 years. Whereas I think I was 5 years in Sacramento and San Francisco and then came down here. So I had 3 minutes that were very good,
Yeah.
And then it just worked out, and it was fucking.
Is being a door guy better than being friends and family? Or is there not a distinction? Like if
pretty much the same thing, but as a door guy, so when you work there as a door guy, you get into the behind the stage too, you know?
Yeah.
Bartenders know who you are. Managers, their general managers know who you are. So it's more of you're in the family. Mm-hmm. You know, like if you're friends and family, you don't drink for free. Even some paid regulars don't drink for free. But like everyone sees me as one of them that got to graduate to the next level. So it's always like a very positive thing. Being friends and family is pretty good because then you don't have to work there. But then working there is fun because, you know, I just got fucked up and watched comedy for 3 years almost.
So if you're just friends and family, you're friends. And if you're a door guy, you're
family.
The family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. I'm happy to, though, I got in and out pretty quick. You know, like the guy I was talking about, Jesus Trejo, I kind of try to put my career almost like a guy, he's hacking in the fucking jungle a path, and I'm just trying to find what he did.
He's very funny. Check out his special. I think it's on Showtime.
Yep, Showtime, Stay at Home Son.
And he's got a food show.
Yes, Tacos con Todo, which is one of my favorite. I've seen every episode. Mm-hmm. Goes through all the best taqueria carts in LA with the biggest comedians. I mean, Tiffany Haddish is on it, Bert's on it, Tom Segura's on it. It's a fantastic show, funny.
He's so authentically like able to do that show as well because he's so LA. Mm-hmm. And tacos are, I think, such an LA thing.
Yes, especially the street taco here.
Yeah.
They don't really do it anywhere else like they do it here.
No. Except the streets of Mexico. But
yeah, it's Tijuana.
Yeah, but we're Americans, so we don't really consider it.
That's not real.
You have a couple shows that you run here in town.
Yeah. I run...
out of town, apparently. Long Beach.
Yeah, Long Beach. So I started, the first one was Bear City in Long Beach. It's every Wednesday. It's at an old punk rock lesbian bar.
That sounds awesome.
Used to be the first lesbian bar in Southern California.
Cool.
A woman named Benz owns it. She's an old German woman. She's the fucking best. She kind of looks like she only like lives off of like bourbon and cigarettes.
I was gonna say cigarettes.
Yeah, very thin.
Yeah,
but fantastic.
Eats once a week, whether she needs it or not.
Exactly. Yeah. But she's the fucking bomb, and she's got like what's really cool. So it's not a lesbian bar anymore, but at the time it was. It's called Que Sera, and Katie Lang and Melissa Etheridge would go there and hang out. So during the pandemic, so there's actually 2 gold records from Melissa Etheridge that she gave to Benz to put up in there.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. Over the pandemic, Benz was scared she was going to lose the bar, and Melissa Etheridge paid for everything, the whole pandemic.
Wow, she likes it that much.
Yeah, I mean they're like family, you know.
Yeah.
So that place is sick, and then I run another one called The Setup every Wednesday and Sunday at Citizen Park Market in Culver City. And then I have a show called Buried at the Comedy Store, which I run with a guy named Craig Conant. Bear City, I run with a guy named Trevor Hill. Setup LA, I run with Abhay Nankarni, Richard Sarvate, and Zach Chapeloni. Buried at the Comedy Store, I run with Craig Conant.
Love that guy.
Fantastic guy. And that is a show that was a theme of 3 comics try to follow 3 famous people, each after each, to see if they don't get buried. Buried is a term in comedy where someone's so good in front of you that, you know, it's like eating a steak and then someone gives you like a $1 hamburger. It's like, you can't follow it.
Yeah.
It's gross.
So big comic goes up, younger comic goes up right after.
Yeah.
How much time are we doing?
About 10s, 15s.
Yeah.
And it's,
even the young cats? The young cats are doing 15.
Well, they're like me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're not talking about new.
No.
Okay.
It's like me and Craig, and then we get like 3 famous people.
We're talking about like theater act, club headliner.
Yeah.
Theater act, club headliner.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. That'd be something to watch as opposed to like theater act
and
or arena act, and then like the last guy who ate shit on Kill Tony.
Yeah, like our last one we had Bill Burr and Eric Griffin. So we get pretty good big ones.
Murderers.
Dude, the best one was I had to follow Joey Diaz. Man, Joey Diaz.
Cocksuckers.
Yeah. No one crushes harder at the Comedy Store than I've ever seen is Joey Diaz.
Wow.
His main room spots used to fucking level the room.
His laugh is just, you can feel it. You don't hear it. You feel it like a thunderous bass.
And he's like the mascot of the Comedy Store, you know?
Yeah.
He kind of looks like a fucking mascot. Like someone's living inside of him.
Someone could.
Yeah, someone easily could.
Yeah.
And then I got another show at the Comedy Store called New Joke Night with JF Harris. And New Joke Night is last Saturday of the month, and Buried is last Tuesday of the month.
JF just shot his special in Florida.
Yep.
6 months ago. Should be out by now.
JF's special is out. You could go and check him out on Instagram. He's got all of his clips up. They're doing great. He's a great comedian. He's done Corden. He's done Comedy Central. He's got all the...
Yeah. I did an episode for Craig Conant of his show. He's between producers. Produced it here in the front room.
Oh, nice.
And JF was the guest.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, that's how I know him.
Serendipitous.
Yeah. Can we circle back to Dave for a second?
Yeah.
My technical question is, how would he get the meat every day? Would you put it in the rider and be waiting at the venue, or would he just go out to the grocery store every day?
He would go to a butcher. And we also got it sent to us. So, Meats by Lynn's, it's like one of the most premier fucking butchers. It's out of Chicago. Like, you go to, like, God, what is it? I think it's called Red Door somewhere in Austin. They got Meats by Lynn's. Like, it's top grade. They would send us boxes of meat
to the venue. So, like, you're a moving target, right?
So they'd send it somewhere, and then we'd get it, and then we have a meat freezer underneath. Or in the beginning,
you put a freezer in the under the bus?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's fucking like top grade ribeyes and stuff like that. And then in the beginning of the tour, he'll bring one too. Or we'll go to a local butcher, like because Dave's beef ribs are one of the most insane single bites of meat I've ever had in my life.
Speaking of which, you guys are no strangers to food out there, that whole crew.
Yeah. What's
the best meal you had on this last run? That's got to be tough, but
there's a Japanese restaurant. It's so funny. We go in Austin, right? So Bert every month or every few weeks he'll fly to Austin and record Two Bears One Cave.
Yep.
And we'll just track along. Oh, we're also, I'm flying in fucking private jets. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. That sometimes Tom pays for.
I think the show pays for us to go back there.
Yeah.
Tom actually...
I think it was for Bert's birthday. I'm just getting this from the show.
He bought Bert... It's gonna sound... I mean, I can barely... I mean, I can't afford any of things like that, but like, there's different levels of private jets too,
Oh, yeah.
There's like... a lot of the ones that we would go on are like 17 grand. Which is, a lot, but not
for a 2.5 hour flight. That's not bad.
Not that crazy, especially if you filled the plane with like 10 people.
Yeah, it's $1,700. That's first class for 10 people.
Yeah, it's real first class. And like when you go up in these private jets, they give you dinner, like there's steak and mashed potatoes and shit like that. And it's like real fucking first class. So you go on we would take a lot of little ones, but when Tom bought Bert the $100,000 gift card, I think it was, for the private jet, we gotta go in some motherfucking private jets,
like some EDM DJ style shit. Yeah.
Like your fucking chair can spin around. Like there's so much room that your chair can spin around. Probably fit 30 people in it. Bathroom sick because on those small ones you're not really supposed to go poop on that.
No, like a tour bus.
It's like a tour. Yeah, you can't poop on a tour bus. That's a big rule. So yeah. Oh, but there's a place I think it's called Uchi in Austin. So we go to the On It gym to go work out with Rogan and his like personal trainer.
That's got to be a little surreal.
I know Rogan a little bit.
Oh yeah, from the store.
Like we smoke joints and stuff tonight.
So that wouldn't be
that one's not as crazy, but his personal trainer. I mean, you're just smashing like tires and stuff. Destroyed me. I threw up. And then we go next door to go like some tranquil place to like, I don't know, whatever. And the guy there goes, "Oh, you guys want some sushi? Go to this restaurant." Now, Bert thought it was going to be, we all thought it was going to be a sushi boat place, like a giant sushi boat, and we're going to do sake bombs. This is like a Michelin-starred restaurant.
Yeah.
I think it was Michelin-starred restaurant. So, like, when we sit down, Bert, for some reason, we're all drunk.
Surprise.
Yeah. And we go, and Bert goes, I'll take 2 sushi boats and 2 rounds of sake bombs. And the woman is like almost angry. She's like, we don't have sushi boats and we don't have sake bombs. And then we look at the menu and it's like you're buying shit by the twos. And it's like $15-$20 for two.
Like 2 pieces of sushi.
2 pieces of sushi.
Not even with rice. There's sashimi.
No, it's got rice.
Okay.
And so he goes, okay, this is the biggest bill we ever spent too. I think it was $2,500, but it was like 7 guys.
Yeah.
So
not bad.
Not that. I mean, it's
you take 7 guys to a steakhouse.
Yeah, it's gonna be around there.
About $150 a pop.
Yeah, $150, and we're getting bottles of wine.
And that's where the bill
that's where that's where it gets you. And we had the best thing I've ever eaten in my life was this dry aged sous vide for 24 hours steak that they put on. It was like Wagyu. My guy, you know when they say it melts in your mouth and you're like, man.
Yeah, most of the time it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's this fucking thing, it engulfed my tongue.
Like a Listerine strip.
Yeah, yeah, exactly like a Listerine strip of fucking meat. It was beautiful. That was the best meal I've ever. Actually, Austin's whole food scene is fucking wild.
Yeah, and if it wasn't, they would need to step up with everybody that just moved there.
Yeah. A couple people moving back.
Yeah, as it happens. You know, I think too many people left. Some people are coming back. Some people are just summering here.
Yeah,
because it's a little hot. This might be the last one. Maybe one after that because we're at like 51. But offstage coolest experience. Like, did you tour something? Did somebody give you the keys to the castle? You know what I mean? Like, did you get to go see some shit nobody would else get to see unless you were on this road?
I'll give you a couple on this one because one I want to talk about. The coolest gig I did was we got to do the Grand Ole Opry.
That's awesome. And you stood in the circle?
And I stood in the circle.
Yeah. And you know that whole story.
Yes. Yeah. Because then the next day we did the Ryman, which was the original Grand Ole.
Right.
Ryman, everyone likes that one more. Like, you know,
it's flooded. It's gross.
It's okay. Everyone's sitting in pews. The motherfucking Grand Ole Opry. I had the best set of my life. And I was kind of tripping, you know, because I'll do like a cocaine joke and stuff like that. I'm like, Nashville's kind of...
It's hit and miss with the drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very Christian.
Yeah.
Or they pretend to be Christian.
Yeah. On Sunday morning for an hour and a half.
Yeah. So like they don't really like dirty stuff. So I was a little worried about that, but I literally fucking murdered. So that was the best. And then it's like there's like 100 green rooms in each old, you know, like this one's Tiny Pete Williams in his green room. It's like all the shit everywhere. It's really cool. Coolest shit I got to do. In a lot of these theaters, they're just so beautiful because they're just like, we're done so long ago.
Yeah.
They let us play ultimate frisbee inside of them.
Or disc golf or ultimate frisbee?
Oh, disc golf.
Yeah.
Disc golf.
Yeah.
So like we would go on the top and we're like flinging them onto the stage.
From the balcony?
From the balconies. Flinging them on the stage.
Guys are like hanging speakers.
Yeah, it was
and
like I got one caught in like the awning in like...
That's just the water hazard right
there.
Yeah,
it's just done.
Yeah.
It's just done.
Yeah.
That one was cool. What else? I mean, I got to do so much cool shit that I've never even thought I would ever get to do with Bert.
I thought there was some like either a baseball field tour or like a brewery tour that you guys got to do.
Brewery tour, maybe. It kind of all blends in now.
If you do a brewery tour, you're probably not going to remember it.
Yeah. But baseball stadiums have been a few.
Yeah.
Minor leagues. We're in Midland, Texas, I think.
I was just there.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Not much going on.
There's that Performing Arts Center, and that's it.
Yeah. There's not much going on. And they have a baseball team, and it was right next door to the venue. And then they call our manager and go, hey, you guys want to come hit some balls? And they go, yeah, where are you? And he goes, I'm right out front. Guy comes, picks us up on one of those stretch golf carts. And then brings us in the stadium, and it's perfect. The stadium is perfect. The grass is beautiful. The dirt is perfect because it had already been done. And then
was it a brand new stadium?
It was a brand new stadium. It's like their crown jewel.
Yeah, because there's like one stoplight in Midland, Texas.
Yeah. And this is their thing. The sells out. That's all they got to do. Man, we just got to shag balls and do ultimate disc golf there. Mm-hmm. That was fucking cool. We got to do that at a couple times. What was it? I mean, there's something I'm going to be forgetting that was insane, but I can't, You'll
think of it when you get in the car.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yes, I got to do so much cool shit. It almost all just blends together.
Yeah.
Plus
Did you do any kind of like tour diary where you're like, today we got to do this, like just so you remember?
No, I should do a diary though.
I did that on my first musical tour because everything was fresh and new, and I hadn't seen any of these cities before. And now it's like, I have a theory that every city, it looks the same because the simulation can't make new cities, and there's too many of us. So it's like there's always the Walmart and the Target, and that whole shopping center, and then the airport's always going to be just a little annoyingly too far outside of town.
It's always far.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, but like the way we go is like you land, a giant Suburban picks you up, takes you to the venue, and takes you to the bus, and like it's very like they didn't have to do much in my simulation because I didn't go out very often.
We've been getting picked up by the bus at the airport.
Sometimes we'll do that, but
Depends on the airport.
Bus isn't there yet.
Yeah.
Like a guy has to drive it over or something.
Yeah. How many guys are on the bus total?
There would be 2 openers, maybe 3. So normally me, Dave Williamson, or I'm out, and they bring in Mark Normand or Shane Gillis. And then there's the cameraman, John Mans, who's like this. I mean, he's kind of a badass, but he's also like this little drunk. Yeah. But he's fun. He's done like he worked for Nat Geo for a long time.
Yeah. For my audience, that's what I do on those tours that you know that I go on.
Oh yeah, you're the John Mans guy?
I'm the John Mans for a couple of films.
Yeah, it's fun. So he's there, and then we got Bert's assistant, which is this guy named Peter, who's a fucking man. And then we got a tour manager, who's now Amanda. She's fantastic. Last guy sucked balls. And then we got...
Say his name so we all know, not
Trevor. It's awful. That was the worst.
Comedian Trevor Wallace is basically who you're talking about.
Oh, I love Trevor Wallace. No, it's not Trevor.
He's coming on soon.
He's a great guy. And then Bert's cousin, Andrew, who edits all the videos.
Oh, Mans doesn't cut?
No.
Wow.
Sometimes, maybe, not
I
often.
need to have a conversation with someone after this.
Yeah, well, you can't take John Mann's job.
No, I don't. I do both.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to bring an editor, and now I have ammunition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think like Bert just wants Andrew there and gives him a job.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? It's his fucking empire.
Yeah, it's his thing.
Yeah. What I'm trying to drive towards is our buses have the back master suite.
Yes.
So that leaves 6 or 9 bunks.
Yes, 6 normally.
One rack of 3 is taken up by the artist's bathroom. So we maxed out our 6 on the last one.
Does go in the master room?
Yeah.
Oh, Bert sleeps in the bunks.
Yeah.
And the master is literally just full of clothes, and that's where people edit.
You should get a back lounge.
He's buying a new bus.
Buying it.
Yes, buying it, and it's gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking insane. He said there's no more benches. He's just gonna have 6 captain's chairs.
That's awesome. And then a little table if you want. That's so fucking perfect.
Yeah. The last one got beat to shit because we were in it for like 2.5 years.
Yeah. So my one of my business partners here is a tour manager. She's currently out with Haim.
Oh, nice.
She did Enrique Iglesias before that, all this shit. But never back lounges for artists. So there's 3 girls in Haim. Mm-hmm. They sleep in a bunk.
Yeah.
They have a back lounge and a front lounge. And she's like, in your world, I'm like, I've never seen a bus that doesn't have the back master suite. She's like, that is only for comedy. That's only for like solo artists or comics because their crew is so small.
Yeah.
And because they have 3 buses on their tour and all 12 bunks are full on every single bus. She's like, we would have to get an additional bus per month if we had to do 1 back suite per girl. And it would just cost, hundreds of thousands of
Gabriel
dollars.
Iglesias, I think, has his own bus. He goes by himself.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fucking cool. But Bert, he wants to be around people. That's his thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't really like being alone. So like, I'm kind of just with him all the time. Yeah. And he's not in the back. He sleeps right next to me. I miss the bunks. The bunks are kind of nice.
I get claustrophobic in the bunks.
Yeah.
So
are you doing 3? We only do 2.
What do you mean 2?
Are you doing 3 stacked?
Oh, you get condo bunks.
Yeah, well, ours are only 2. You do 3?
We do 3.
Whoa,
and then
that's small.
I can't sit up. So if I sit up, because sometimes in my sleep apnea, I'll sit up involuntarily and I hit my head. So I sleep sitting up in the front lounge.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I usually fall asleep editing because people don't fuck off till like 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's when I can really start working. And then once the bus starts, it's like...
Yeah, it kind of gets you. Kind of nice.
It lulls you to
the
sleep.
3 one is terrible.
Yeah, dude. We asked one time, we had 9 bunks and we had the math that it would work out. We asked the driver to flip it to condo and he was like, well, that would be a lot of work. And we're like, well, that's your fucking job. But he still didn't do it.
The bus drivers are sometimes just so wild.
Well, you guys are lucky.
Why?
You got Ron.
Ron's fun. Ron's a cool guy. Ron's good.
It's the Wild West if you don't have your own guy. It's a different guy every week. And you're like, well, wonder what this is going to be like.
Yeah. That one's not fun. That one, they had a few guys that they went through that did not work.
We had a guy one week that he was like, if I skip the hotel room every night and sleep on the bus, will you give me an extra $100? And we were like, yeah, but we don't want you on the bus. Steve, plug everything you got one more time. It's at Scuba Steve Fury on the Instagram.
At Scuba Steve Fury on Instagram. That's where I'm most prevalent. I got my show, Punching Up Show, on Instagram. If you like watching street fights and 2 best friends just make fun of everybody. And then I have a podcast called World on Drugs. I'm about to start season 2. It's a deep dive into criminals you haven't heard of. And it's not Griselda Blanco and it's not Pablo Escobar. It's like deep hitmen that people haven't heard of.
Yeah.
Drug guys like Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar. It's
Never heard of him.
Not my favorite episode, but he's got a great story. He was a street kid in Mumbai, India, he just lived on the street. By 14, he started his own gang. By 21, he took over the gold trade in Mumbai, which Mumbai is big as fuck. Then he got so big that he started like bombing places. Then he got kicked out of India, goes to Afghanistan, and now he's the guy who funds ISIS. And you can call his house. He's got a giant mansion in Afghanistan. You can call his house. His wife will answer.
And that's how you interviewed him for your podcast.
I wish. Oh, that'd be so
Did you try to call?
No, I haven't called, but I watched people call, and then they'll just ask, and his wife's just like, no, he's not here.
Right, which is the standard pre-recorded answer for
exactly.
everyone.
It's just wild that you could just call. And
yeah. Did you see that the U.S. took out one of the ISIS, the oldest ISIS leader, with a single missile the other day?
I don't know.
Didn't destroy any other buildings.
Finally.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, we've done it. Yeah, we've killed so many fucking side people over there.
Yeah. Well, Steve and I have to go kill some side people and talk about some other shit. Thanks for watching the Isaac Abrams Show. Steve, thanks for coming, man. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Turn it tight.